This is part one of the Galaxy watercolor project. So prior to starting the project, you should have completed the skill assignments, and the videos are uploaded prior to this video, so you should be able to see and use them. So the biggest thing I want to emphasize with this project is letting the materials sort of work by themselves and concentrate on making organic shapes and organic compositions within your painting, because you are working from a picture that represents some sort of part of the galaxy, and of course that is an organic photograph. So you want to just sort of let the paint work within itself, and you want to use what you learned in the Small Planets project. So if there's any effects that you liked, you definitely want to use those in this step. So you've noticed that I started with a water sort of puddle. It's not a perfect circle like the planets, but it's more of an organic form. And I'm just letting the black watercolor and the blue watercolor sort of work with each other. And this is how I'm going to start my painting. When you're moving on to another color or another space, don't worry about making that other color wrap around your previous form. Just let it connect in some way, or start on a whole nother part of the paper. It doesn't really matter because you're going to be doing layers upon layers of color just to get that depth. Some parts of your painting you want lighter and some parts you want darker, so you are going to start light and then slowly add in the dark. So don't worry about white spaces, those will take care of themselves. So throughout the painting process, you'll see me sprinkle salt or use bleach, and that is when I feel like the time is right. Remember, you don't want to add salt when the water's too wet, because then that part of the painting will never dry. You just want to add it when it's shiny, and then the bleach is sort of up to your discretion. I'm going to speed up the video from here on out so you can just watch it at a faster pace and just see what happens. So a couple things I want to mention. One is that as I'm painting, you'll notice I'll leave a very thin white border around the painting, like what I'm doing right here. I'm kind of edging it off, and that's just so it looks cleaner when we frame it or hang it up. So try not to go all the way to the edges. And then another thing is that when you're adding the paint into sort of the wet parts, make sure the paint is not too watery, not too thick. You're just going to have to try to get the right consistency. So it should be kind of like a saturated, inky paint. After you're done painting your background, you're going to do the second part, and that is putting the stars into your galaxy. And you can do this with watered down acrylic paint or white India ink. It's your choice. Both work pretty well. So depending on how careful you are, you might get a little streaks between your stars, which is kind of cool, or you might get single stars. So I would really suggest testing it out on like a black piece of paper before you begin on your painting. After this, you can use a really small brush with some more of the white paint and create the constellation of your zodiac sign, or a constellation that you have sourced off of the NASA website or one of the handouts in class, and sort of design your galaxy and get it to a finished point. You'll see on here that I am doing my zodiac sign, which is Leo, and then I wrote Leo into the design. And if you do that, just really take care in designing your letters in an appropriate way. Sometimes it makes sense to add text and sometimes it doesn't, so it's really up to you and how you want your composition to look. This is the finished painting with the zodiac sign, the Leo zodiac sign. And then this next one is a really large one that I did prior to this, and this is based off of a NASA photograph.